Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind introduction. And I'm very happy to be there in your inaugural session as well. It was wonderful function. Uh, at outside, I'm very much thankful to Professor Sood and the Department of Computer Science and Machine Learning and Data Science and Artificial Intelligence for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to meet, people from HP University, the technocrats from the mountains. It is a very good place, and I can see the students are also very enthusiastic and full house is there. So I'm very much thankful, Professor Sood, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. Uh, Friends, I'm going to talk on machine learning techniques that are used in Gujarati language processing. What machine learning is, in fact, this is my agenda for the day. I will just talk about machine learning in very brief, and then I'll shift to some of the experiments that we have done or we are doing in our department. Mainly, we use machine learning techniques in language processing. At the end, we will talk a little bit about Chat GPT. I don't know how many of you know about Chat GPT, how many of you have used Chat GPT, but I'll, use Chat GPT. I'll try to demonstrate Chat GPT in brief. So this is my agenda for the day, and I will try to complete, my talk within stipulated time. Why machine learning is so happening these days? Till yesterday, we were talking about conventional programming methods. We were talking about C++. We were talking about program development or system development in Java or some front end technology using some back end technology, and suddenly of late people are talking too much about machine learning techniques, machine learning and machine learning techniques, data science, machine learning, and so many techniques we are using these days. So what was happening yesterday and what is happening today, there is one paradigm shift between the things that we were doing yesterday when we were students. I and Professor Sood were students. So many technologies they are in use today. We never heard about those technology. In fact, when I was student, I never see a window platform. We were trained on Unix and DOS platform. So suddenly, so many things happen, and now day-to-day, scenario in computer science is changing. So till yesterday, procedure-driven system were used, and now today data-driven system is used, and now data-driven system is in use. Till yesterday, we were talked about desktop applications. So suppose you are developing one payroll system. So that payroll system was developed for one particular desktop, and from that desktop we are using that system. In earlier days, the data was also residing on the same system. The system is also residing on the same platform, and we were using the system. But nowadays, cloud-based applications are used, and all of you are trained for developing cloud-based application. The major shift that has taken place is earlier we were pushing data, we were generating a lot of data, but now it is time to use the generated data, the data which was generated yesterday. Now it is time to use that generated data. So till yesterday we were pushing data, now it is time to pull that data, and that is the major paradigm shift. And because of this paradigm shift, now machine learning type of technique or data science like of field that is emerged very fast. So some of the things, simple, question is what makes data pooling possible? we are generating a lot of data, and I will give you some scenario of what amount of data that we are generating day to day. Every second we are generating data. You are using, everyone is carrying a smartphone, that is a computer in his or her pocket. So whatever we do, we are generating data, and what to do that with that data. So what makes this data pooling possible? The simple, answer to this question is machine learning and machine learning algorithm. The second thing is huge data or big data. That is, these two fields make this data pooling possible. So what amount of data, what is the volume of data that we are generating? It is enormous amount of data that we are generating. Facebook, say for example, processes 24 petabytes of data per day. Just imagine what amount of data, 24 petabytes of data per day, and we are using Facebook 365 days a year, and for how many years we are using Facebook. Just imagine that. And so what amount. Sir. Hello. Oh, am I audible, sir? Okay. So was it the last slide? From the first slide itself. Okay. So let us start with here only. Am I audible now, sir? Okay. Okay. So there is a big paradigm shift. Uh, Yesterday, we were talking about procedure-driven system, and that's why C, C++, and on those technology we were working on. Today, we are driven by. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, okay. So in Facebook generating 24 petabytes of data, Google generating 10 millions of photograph, YouTube, on YouTube, 1 hour of video is uploaded every second. 400 million tweets are, uploaded on Twitter every day. So estimated data that was generated in 2020, 2020, the universe, digital universe has surpassed 44 zettabytes of memory. That is 44 trillion gigabytes. So this is a huge, data. What is the form of data? We have textual form, documents, clicks, graphs, tables, transactions, video, audio, and everything. In fact, let me tell you one, interesting example. In Surat, we have a city surveillance system where we have installed more than 650 cameras across the city. All these cameras are connected through 400 kilometers citywide network, and we store video of all these 650 cameras for a couple of months, and then we shift this data to a network, network storage, and gigabyte of memory we have installed in our control room. So once this data is generated, the most important thing is, can we use this data? That is one. Second is, if we use this data, what is the purpose of this data? Using this data, if we analyze this data, what do we get? In fact, we can get very precious information, very precious knowledge processing this data. Giving you the same example, is it is if we have some incident take place in the city of Surat, and we want to see what actually happened in the city, say some accident, so we can see the entire sequence of that particular camera, and we can find out who was at fault and what happened. So if we process this data, very valuable knowledge that we can generate. We will come to this chat GPT at the end of the session. But for this machine learning, as we talked about, machine learning technique and machine learning algorithm uh, can be used. All of you are student of machine learning, so you know about, I mean, data science, so you know about machine learning. So what is the major difference between the programming that we do up till now and the programs that you are going to do, or you must have done in your machine learning and AI? The programs, conventional programs, they do not have capability to learn, whereas the artificial intelligence program or machine learning program or the data science, the algorithms that you are learning in data science, those algorithms are having capability to learn. Whatever they learn, they can use in the next consultation. So that is the major difference between the conventional programs and the programs that we learn in machine learning technique. This is a typical machine learning process. We have data instances, data sets. We divide this data set into three parts. In fact, one part is called training data set, the another part is called testing data set, and we have one validation data set as well. So with a training data set, we train our model, and by a testing data set, we test our model and we check what is the accuracy, and if we are satisfied with the accuracy, then we can use that model. So what exactly the learning is? Learning is a major thing. There are so many algorithms that you must have learned or you will learn. Say for example, KNN algorithm. This KNN algorithm is called lazy learning algorithm. So there are different types of learning methods. So what is learning? Learning is any process by which a system improves performance from experience. So what is experience here? Experience is the data that we have generated so far. So we are using, say, some company is using, billing system for last 20 years. So that company has generated bulk of data. Now, what is the use of data? Once the auditing has done, then what is the use of that data? But if we use this data, if we use that data for training an algorithm, using that algorithm and the data, we can make certain decisions. So that data we can use as an experience for the data model. The ML model. Right. So this is one definition given by Herbert Simon. And similarly, some more definitions are also, available. But all the definitions, they talk about, the experience, the use of experience or use of past data. Say one definition over here is machine learning refers to a system capable of the autonomous acquisition and integration of knowledge. So the main important part is we want to develop a system which mimic the human behavior. So many times you are at a tourist place. You must have noticed when this season comes, say this April, May, June, July. Suddenly, in the advertisements and everywhere, these hotel advertisements and everything, they come on. They appear in the newspaper, on the hoardings, etc. So how this happens, that is because of the experience that you have. That is because of the expertise that you have. Okay, in the month of May, you will reach to this much of tourists visiting Shimla, and likewise. So whatever our experience is, whatever the past data is, that past data we are using for making some prediction. So when we talk about learning, nowadays this learning is mainly divided into three categories, and I'm sure that you must be aware of these three categories: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. And look at the pictures that I have put. in the first part, a mother is teaching her kid with her within her inspection. So see, uh, yes, sir, is not moving, sir. Here it is. Everything is okay. Here, is it now moving, sir? Right, so क्या sir? स्लाइड शो में निकल जाऊं, स्लाइड शो से वैसे ही करूं? हाँ, स्लाइड शो में ही हूं सर. Yes, now let me. Uh, okay, just a minute. Here तो मुझे सब कुछ ठीक दिखा रहा है. Let me share once again. Now, okay. तो आप देख सकते हो पहला जो पिक्चर है, a mother is teaching her kid under her observation. Uh, so that is called supervised learning. We train our model under some supervision. Look at this particular block diagram. Is it moving, sir? Uh, so you can see this block diagram. We have a data set. And what happens in supervised learning? Suppose I give you one example. The example is I want to categorize a movie. Uh, I want to classify some movies on the basis of number of fight sequences are there and songs are there. Generally, in Hindi movies, a song reflects romance and fight reflects action. So if number of fight sequences are more in the movie, that movie is categorized as an action movie, and number of songs are more, then that particular movie is categorized as a romantic movie. So this is a data set. Data set is what? How many fight sequences are there? How many uh, songs are there? And what is the category of that movie? So we have that past data. We have 100 movies, and these three things are available. The first one is number of fight sequences, number of songs, and the third one is the type of movie. So here, one and two, number of fight sequences and number of songs, that is called features, and the third one, that is called target or the outcome. So if three fight sequences are there and one song is there, then the outcome is that category of movie is action movie. So here in training data set, we give this fight number of fight sequences and number of songs as input, and with that particular input, what is the label or what is the target, that is also provided to learning method. That is also provided to learning method. So many times your data is required to be transformed in some meaningful form. Say for example, if I try to predict what will be the house rent in the city of Delhi or Mumbai. Now this house rent is based on a number of rooms there, a number of locality there, and what is the price of that particular property. On the basis of say these three features, the rent is determined. Now, how many rooms are there? So one house may be having two, three, four rooms. locality, you have categorized this locality. So locality can be categorized as 1, 2, 3, 4 based on the type of locality. And the cost may be 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs. Now if I train these three things, then my price will dictate over the other two features, because the price is always in lakhs of rupees, whereas the total number of room in a house is 3, 4, 5 rooms. So can we normalize this? For normalization, we can apply some technique on say cost of the house. So that can reduce to reduce to a boundary between zero, I mean the range between 0 to 1. Similarly, we can normalize the number of rooms also. So that is called transformation. So sometimes this transformation is also required, and then that data, in which is generally in form of a vector, that is used for training my model. So what two things I have used for training? The features that I have used, and along with feature, I have also used the target or the data label for training my model. So these two things are used, and this is called this when I'm giving the target also, this is called supervision. Right. So with under this supervision, I train my model, and then when training is done, then we are testing our model. You can see here same type of transformation methods are applied, and we convert that in vector, and then that vector is used for prediction. So this particular thing, this training with data label, that makes this model supervised learning model. On the other hand, we have unsupervised learning model. What is unsupervised learning model? It is dicto same, but here this training with data label is not there. So that is the only difference between supervised and unsupervised learning models. These are some of the examples of supervised learning method, KNN method, and artificial neural network. And I will show you some of the use of some of the learning models in our some of the projects. So as you can see here, there is no data target provided to learning model. So that is the supervised and unsupervised learning models. And these are some of the techniques, KNN method, principal component analysis. We have designed our own method, one algorithm also for clustering, right? So if some other time I will, or we can talk about that particular thing. We have made use of linked list for grouping or clustering the data set. So that is done. So these are some of the methods of unsupervised learning, and these are some of the projects that we are working on or we have worked on. You can see so many machine learning techniques are used in Gujarati language, handwritten Gujarati character recognition, which is a project on digital image processing. Gujarati spoken numeral recognition, it is speech recognition. So signal processing type of a project. Online Gujarati optical character recognition, once again it is digital image processing. Gujarati grammar analysis, which is purely natural language processing problem, where we have made use of rule-based system. We have developed a rule-based system, and we made use of artificial neural network. Gujarati text localization and recognition. I'll show you the data set, and from that data set, I'll try to explain how what exactly the problem is. Fruit recognition from image, segregation of bulk mails, hand gesture identification. We are working on Sindhi grammar analysis. We are working on Gujarati sentiment analysis. So these are the projects that we are working on in our department. We work mainly on natural language processing. So these are the algorithms which are used there. The main important challenge is data set. And before that, Let me try to explain what Gujarati language is. I'm sure you are not aware of Gujarati, and we you know it is important to know Gujarati language before processing Gujarati language. So mainly it is used in the state of Gujarat. It belongs to the Devanagari family. The Hindi is also belongs to the same family. In Gujarati, we have 12 vowels. We call them swars. 34 consonants. They are called vyanjans, and many modifiers. If you can see my uh, cursor, this particular here I have written Gujarati in Hindi, and here I have written Gujarati in Gujarati. So we call it anuswar. So that is what is called a modifier. So many modifiers are used in our Hindi language in most of the Indic languages. Most of the Indic languages are using these things. Whereas in English, it is very simple. If you want to write Gujarat, then you can see here I have written Gujarat here in English, but Gujarat. So in one zone only, this entire script is written. If we write in capital letters, if we write in small mixture of capital letters and small letters, then we are using three zones. But in almost all other languages, Hindi, Gujarati, and other languages, Marathi, we are using all sides of character, all side of one character. Say this T, Gujarati ka T jo hai, we are using right side also and the upper side also. So one character is joined with some other modifiers in all eight sides. So that adds challenge. The other challenge is in Hindi, we are using this Sirolekha. That is a guiding component that is used, and that helps us in identifying a zone, and we are not using that Sirolekha here in Gujarati. So that is one another problem of Gujarati. uh, Many times when we use this modifier in Gujarati, the shape of that character completely changes. So that is also one challenge for us. Say here, if you can make out this, we call it Rashtra ka Ra, and if we use modifier, it becomes a ru, but the character is different. It looks something like 3 in Hindi. Here also a modifier is used with ra. Here one modifier is used with pa, patang ka pa, उसके साथ ये यूज किया गया है, और त, तरंग का त, और ये when we use modifier it becomes like this. So this is another challenge in Gujarati language processing. Then composite characters are also used, and that is used in Hindi also. Say anna, we use two na. So that is again a challenge. How to identify that there are two nas are there. The युद्ध में भी ऐसा होता है, मध्य इसमें भी same thing is happening. And in Gujarati, if you look at these three, if you call them alphabets, then these alphabets are similar to number. This first alphabet is called Ra, and that is similar to 2 in Gujarati. The second one is called Pa, and that is similar to 5 in Gujarati. The third one is Ja, say Jamnagar. So Janma ka Ja, so that is similar to 4 in Gujarati. So this is 2, 5, and 4, which are similar to Ra, Pa, and Ja. So alphabets and numbers, the shapes are similar. So that is also a challenge. And the biggest challenge when we started this work in Gujarati, the biggest challenge was that was no benchmark database available. Nowadays, we have created database, and similar is the case with most of the Indian languages. The Indian languages which are matured in natural language from natural language processing point of view, then Bengali. a good amount of work has been done in Bengali. In Malayalam and Tamil also work has been done. Hindi is also somewhat mature, but rest of all other languages, lot of work is required to be done in natural language processing. So the first, the challenge was data set. Now look at this. The first data set that we generated was standalone Gujarati characters. We collected data set from or the sample from 410 users. So 18,040 alphabets were generated, and 4,400 Gujarati numerals were generated. We collected so many of Gujarati circular from our university, circular from government of Gujarat. So this circular was collected as a data set for Gujarati natural language processing. Then this is an interesting data set where we have about 300 images. These 300 images are having pictures along with Gujarati text. So the project was to identify the Gujarati written in the picture. So what is the challenge? We have to remove the picture. We have to locate where the language is or the Gujarati text is written, and then separate that text, and then identify what is written in the text. So that is the project, and for that reason we collected data set of Gujarati picture with I mean picture with Gujarati text. Similarly, these are some very old documents, around about 60-70 years old documents are there. So here in this type of projects, the problem is removal of noise and background neutralization. So that is a bigger problem. So we collected, we have document of Gujarati, old Gujarati documents, which are very old documents, 70-75-year old document. Then we have handwritten Gujarati paragraphs, 410 Gujarati paragraphs are there, and they have got their own challenges. Slant is there, then background is not uniform. All these challenges are there. So if you are dealing with digital image processing using machine learning technique, all these things are required. So this is how a data set is required. This data set is data set of composite characters, joint character or composite characters. So we have 805 conjunct alphabets. So we have lakhs of such type of images. Then this is a data set of Gujarati numbers, spoken Gujarati numbers. So it has in form of waves. I'll talk about this later on in little bit more detail. What is the meaning of these curves are? What is the meaning of these signals are? But this is how we have a data set of Gujarati spoken numbers or digits. And now we talk about how machine learning techniques are used in such type of problems. So the first thing is we wanted to identify. This is a 10-12 years old project, but this is the first work that we did in this area, Gujarati natural language processing area. So first digitization was done, and then contrast correction is required. Just understand this block diagram. Contrast correction was done. Resizing was done next, and thinning was performed. Then rotation of character was done. These 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that is pre-processing stages. So pre-processing was done on every images, and then feature extraction was done through profile for generating profile vector. Now, how this feature set was created, that also I will explain. And then classification done. The thing is, in classification here at this stage, we made use of machine learning technique. And in all other stages, we used some digital image processing technique. Let me make it very, very clear that machine learning technique, most of the time, machine learning technique is used along with some other computer science area or other computer science domain. Such as here, we are using this machine learning technique along with digital image processing. So if you are doing data science and artificial intelligence, you will be using so many different type of you will be using this machine learning and this data science techniques in other field also. So now let us look at this. So Gujarati digit set in the first image 0 to 9 is written in Gujarati, and this is standardized set. These are standardized set. This is a standardized set of 10 digit 0 to 9. The first one is confusing characters. Zero is, so many times zero is identified as 3 and 7. 1 and 6 is very similar. 8 and 9 are also similar. So we have to, take care of this. And here, look at this. The first thing is contrast correction and smoothing technique. So handwritten numbers are collected from 300 people and the response was scaled in 300 dpi. So every image I scanned was in 300 dpi and the images were in 90 by 90 size, 90 pixel by 90 pixel size. So every character, every single character was in 90 pixel by 90 pixel size. The second thing is, now the challenge is what? When we collect data from the user, they might be using any type of pen, maybe ink pen or pencil or ballpoint pen. Any type of pen can be used. Secondly, any kind of paper they might have used. So if we use, say for example, a newspaper type of paper, then it is blotting paper type paper. And if I write on such paper, if I write using ink pen, the ink will be sprayed. And this is exactly that type of input. Here, whatever, two digits are, shown, that are the digits captured from blotting paper type of paper. So there are two challenges. One challenge is we need to remove the background. We need to adjust the background, the contrast. That is one. And second is we wanted to smoothen the edge of the characters or the shapes. So for that we used some contrast adjustment things. And the second thing is that was done through contrast limited adaptive histogram, equalization, which is called Clahy equalization. And the tile used was 8 by 8. You can, play around with this size of tile. So what is the size of your character and the image? Accordingly, you can fix the size and shape of tile. So we did this. And then we used median filtering. Friends, I asked Professor Shud who are the attendees of this particular seminar, and I learned that most of the attendees are students. So let me make you one thing very clear, that as you are a student of data science and machine learning techniques, your mathematics and statistical foundation should be very clear. We learn mathematics and statistics in our school days also. You must have learned in your college days also. But the important thing is, what is the application of those mathematical and statistical techniques? That is important. Say median, that was very simple thing. But for smoothing out this shape, we use this median filter. And 3 by 3 median filter in 3 by 3 neighborhood. And look at this, the boundary of this character here 1 and boundary of this similar one here. This is much smoother So this has been done by such type of simple technique. Median, we used median there. So median filter was used there, and then when handwritten characters are there, then the size of handwritten characters are different. I write differently. You may write the same character differently. So the size is different. And for computer, we require standardized size. So we converted this, the picture which was, I mean, the images which were earlier taken in 90 by 90 pixel box, that is, converted into 16 by 16 size. So now it is uniform. I have just, identified, located area of interest, and then that area of interest is converted into 16 by 16. So that was done. And this is the feature extraction technique I used. Now, what feature extraction technique is used? I have taken three profiles: horizontal profile, vertical profile, and two diagonal profiles. What is horizontal and vertical profile? You can see here in vertical profile how many pixels in this 16 columns are active pixels or foreground color pixels. So that gives me information. That is one feature for me. Similarly, in 16 rows, how many foreground pixels are there? In diagonal, how many pixels are activated there, or foreground pictures pixels are there? So that makes my feature set. That is my feature set. So this is a feature set, one feature set for number 5. And you can see this horizontal, vertical, and diagonal profile of this one character. So this is one thing. Now what we faced when these numbers or handwritten characters are there, or handwritten text is there, then slant is natural. If you are writing, you can observe, you can notice the page or your notebook. You must have put your page or notebook in slant position or slant direction. And when you keep your pen or notebook in slant direction, and when you write it, naturally some slant is generated. But that is not good thing for computer to learn. So we wanted to identify all kind of character. If it is slant, or if it is when slant is there, then clockwise slant or clockwise rotated character might be there. Anti-clockwise rotated character might be there. So what we do, we did, we trained my algorithm, my machine learning algorithm, with slanted characters. I trained with this slanted characters. Now you can see here, this is a set of 11 characters, 11 5. This is Gujarati 5. So this is my standard 5, and then I rotated this 5 in clockwise and in anti-clockwise by 2 degrees. 2 degree clockwise, this is 2 degree, 4 degree, 6, 8, and 10. So I have rotated 5 in clockwise direction by 10 degree, and rotated 5 in anti-clockwise by 10 degree. So that is how 11 such training set is generated. That is called data augmentation also. So that is how data was augmented, and the algorithm was trained by this such standard characters and augmented characters. And how this rotation was performed? It is standard rotation. You must have learned this in your computer graphics. So it is counterclockwise and clockwise rotation about some particular origin or a particular point. So that is done. And then I used artificial neural network. In artificial neural network, my what you say, feature set were having total 94 information. So in the input layer, I required 94 neurons. In output, I required 10 neuron, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 9. So 10 neurons were taken. And in hidden layers, I played with different number of layer, and ultimately I fixed 50 hidden layers. And That was the basic architecture of the artificial neural network. The transfer function that I used, I'm sure that you must be knowing about this transfer function. Hyperbolic tangent sigmoid function is used. Sigmoid function is very known function. So sigmoid function was used, and in hidden layer, log sigmoid function was used. For optimization, gradient descent was used, and the network was backpropagation network. So that is the architecture of artificial neural network. As this was the first such type of experiment, and some little work was done on printed character. This was the first ever work on handwritten character. The accuracy that I achieved was 81.66 percentage. So in training data set, 61 set was used, and remaining was taken as the testing data set. And here you can see this is called a confusion matrix. And in confusion matrix, you can see the least accuracy was achieved for number 6. So that is one problem area. I explained earlier, number 3 and number 7, they are very close. So they are also having relatively less accuracy. The maximum accuracy that we achieved was for number 4, 96 percentage. As a first ever work, 81.66 accuracy was good enough, but it is not, it was not good for, commercialization purpose. So the next experiment that we performed on similar, data set, but what we did, I changed 2 things. I changed my feature set also, and I changed the classifier also. Here what I have done, I have divided my image into 16 sub images. So 16 by 16 image was there. So I divided this image into 16 sub images. This is my image 1, sub image 1, sub image 2, sub image 3. And in each of the sub images, how many foreground pixels are there, that I counted. And along with this, I also consider the aspect ratio. So I was having here, if you have noticed, I was having 94, the feature set of 94 size, that has reduced here in this work. I have reduced it to 17 only. 16 for this, and 17th is aspect ratio of that particular character. So that is one thing. And then I used KNN algorithm. So here you can see I have used KNN algorithm for different n value and different k values to determine, here for k is equal to 1 and n is equal to 225, k is equal to 1 and n is equal to 25. What is the accuracy that is calculated? So this is in research, this is called experimental research. So for different values of parameters, I have try to find out accuracy, and on the basis of this accuracy, I try to find out what is the optimum value of k and what is the optimum value of n. So that is done, and ultimately I end up with the fact that k is equal to 1 is the best one, and then accuracy is calculated for all data, and for unseen data is the training data, testing data set. And now I reach to 96.99% of accuracy. So this is required when you are not satisfied with the accuracy of your experiment. Then how to fine-tune your algorithm. So both the things I have demonstrated over here. Earlier, what we achieved just 81% of accuracy. So one thing is you can fine tune this algorithm itself, the artificial neural network itself, by experimenting it with different values of parameter, what is the training rate, what is uh, the number of hidden layers. So you can experiment with this. You can even go with some different types of training function, transfer function, or training function. But for that, you need to know every training and transfer function, or every type of parameters in detail. And here what I have done, I have changed the algorithm. I have changed my algorithm, and for that algorithm, I fine-tuned various values. The problem with artificial neural network was it is more time consuming when it comes to training, whereas this KNN is faster algorithm also. So this is one thing. If you are doing your research, you have to be very sure about the parameters of algorithm and the merits and limitations of algorithms. So you can make this is called model selection also. And when you will learn this machine learning, I'm sure you will learn this model selection part of machine learning. Then the next one is, this is, yeah, we discussed this. So the highest accuracy of this here we got is, number 3 and number 8. Number 3, sorry, number 4 and number 8. Number 4 is 99.28 percentage, and number 8 is 99.64 percentage. So average accuracy is 96.99. Similarly, handwritten alphabets. Here, I tried to use a support vector machine. So in Gujarati, there are total 40 characters or alphabets. The sample I collected from 200, writers. So total size of my data set was 8,000. Scanning was done again in DPI. Feature set, similar feature set in the last experiment that we used, that similar feature set is used over here. And this is one accuracy identification of various Gujarati alphabets. Here, hybrid data set, hybrid feature set is used. Why hybrid feature set? When digital image processing is there are two types of features set. One is called, structural features. Structural features is the shape of the feature, shape of the image, or shape of object, etc. Second one is statistical feature set. Statistical feature set is one is aspect ratio, and other say moments. Journic moments are there. Moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 moments. You must have learned moments. So all these are statistical features. When you combine these structural features and statistical features together, that becomes your hybrid feature set. So here I have used hybrid feature set for identification of Gujarati handwritten alphabets. And this time I am using a support vector machine. Support vector machine is used, and here also look at this. I've used different type of classifier. I made use of SVM with Gaussian kernel, polynomial kernel, JCB, KNN, and after applying all different types of classifier, we should decide the best classifier for us, and that is done over here. And the total accuracy for alphabets that we achieved was maximum was 85.90 percentage. So this is in third experiment I used SVM. So this is a machine learning technique used for optical character recognition. Now here some very interesting artificial AI technique is used. A rule-based system is developed, and also artificial neural network is also developed over there. So what is done in this particular project? the correctness of, the identification of Gujarati grammar. All of you must be using uh, MS Word. And when you use MS Word, if you commit some mistake, grammatical mistake, then you get, some indication through color code. Sometimes you get red underline, sometimes you get blue underline, green underline. So if you are committing spelling mistake, then you get some different color code. Grammatical mistake, then you get different color code. In fact, your MS Word knows English grammar. When it knows in English grammar, then only it is capable to tell you that you are committing or you have committed some mistake in this word or in this sentence. Maybe it is grammatical mistake, it is spelling mistake. What type of mistake it is, that also it indicates. That means it knows your English and English grammar. So here we take up this as a challenge. Is it possible to train my computer or algorithm uh, for Gujarati grammar? So now when we start with this type of project, then you need to train your model for analyzing syntax and semantic also. So formal grammar is also used there, context-free grammar that is done. Now here, what is the thing? Correct sentences are given you and incorrect sentences also given you. And same sentence is written in 3 languages. First is Gujarati, second is Hindi, and third one is in English. So Sachin khel khelta hai, that is correct sentence that we know, And what is incorrect? Hai Sachin khelta khel. So this is incorrect sentence. So here, if I want to train my machine to understand correctness of my Gujarati sentence or a Hindi sentence, I need to make my computer understand the grammar. What is the correct, sentence, composition of sentence? When verb is there, when noun comes, when adjective comes, and all these things are required. So this is a syntax analysis approach. Now, when it comes to semantics, it is the meaning of the sentence, and semantic is a bit interesting, more interesting. So semantic is trying to identify the structure of the sentence based on the meaning of a particular sentence. So you can see here what are the challenges that we are discussing, and that is these are the challenges for every language. Different structure with same meaning. You can see here Virat plays cricket before 9 o'clock, and the second sentence written is before 9 o'clock Virat plays cricket. Now the structure, if you see the structure, if you see the sentences, both of these two sentences, these are different sentences, but they are having similar meaning. And that is that same thing goes with the Gujarati. Here we have 9 વાગ્યા પહેલા વિરાટ ક્રિકેટ રમે છે ને વિરાટ 9 વાગ્યા પહેલા ક્રિકેટ રમે છે. The noun in the first sentence, noun, with the noun we start sentence, whereas Virat comes in between in the second sentence. So obviously the composition of sentence is different, but both of these two sentences carry the same meaning. Second is one sentence, but they are having different meaning. For example, the dog entered my room, it scared me. Now it is repeated for dog, or it is repeated for room. So now when we join this type of sentences, that becomes that becomes a problem. I saw the man in the park with a flower. Now with preposition. Now with a flower means what? Park is with a flower, or man is with a flower entering in the park. So that is again a problem. So here one sentence, but they are having different meaning. The third challenge is one word with different meaning. I visited bank yesterday. Which bank I am talking about? Plant, what type of plant I am talking about. Say I give you one simple Hindi sentence. उसका सुंदर नाम सुंदर है. Now, obviously, the first place when I'm using sundar, that sundar is used as an adjective, whereas the second sundar that I am using, that second sundar is noun. So now I want to translate it. The first sundar should be translated into beautiful, whereas the second sundar should be translated after translation, it should remain as sundar. So what is the meaning of it? I need to understand what is used and where it is used. So here I need my program should understand the first appearance of sundar is my adjective and the second sundar is my noun. So adjective will be translated and noun should not be translated. So for that I need to understand each and every word. So that is important. So here one word with different meaning that is there, and even you can write some correct sentences which doesn't carry any meaning. So grammatically, this sentence is correct sentence. Colorless green ideas sleep furiously. This is correct sentence. Colorless is adjective. Green ideas is noun. Sleep is verb, and furiously is adverb. So it is combination of verb phrase and noun phrase. So it is correct sentence, but it doesn't carry any meaning. So because of all these things, this grammar analysis becomes difficult. So now, what is a formal grammar and how we deal with this Gujarati grammar using artificial intelligence techniques, and rule-based system was created over here, and later on machine learning technique is also used to complete that particular problem. So a set of rules for generating valid sentences in natural language, that is called formal language. One of the type of formal language is context-free grammar. Now, what is context-free grammar? Or context-free grammar is a set of recursive rules used to generate pattern of string. Now, here, what is the string that we are talking about? If we talk about Gujarati sentence, then the correct sequence is noun phrase and verb phrase. So any sentence which is written in noun phrase and verb phrase, then it is correct sentence. So that is called a formal grammar. So we need to analyze, okay, what is the composition of that particular sentence. So for that we need to understand terminal symbols and non-terminal symbols. What is terminal symbols? The words in a natural language are called terminal symbols, and the symbols they are called non-terminal symbols. Understand this by this. Virat likes playing, or Virat likes the bat. Now, what is Virat likes the bat? Here, as per the definition, when any sentence is written in written in natural language, like here, Virat likes the bat, it is called terminal symbols. For analyzing it, it is required to be translated into non-terminal symbols like Virat is noun, likes is verb, the is determiner, and bat is noun. So now this noun is actually what Virat likes the bat. Actually, it is a sequence of noun, verb, determiner, and noun. And this is called non-terminal symbols. So we need to, convert the language or the words or the sentence which are written in natural language into non-terminal symbols, and once it is translated into non-terminal symbols, we can verify whether this sequence of non-terminal symbols is as per the Gujarati grammar or any grammar or not. And if it is not following the grammar rule, that particular sentence is wrong, and if it follows the grammar rule, then it is correct sentence. So here rule based system is required. But for doing this, we need to rewrite this language, and we want to convert non-terminal symbols into terminal symbols. So this is one way. We can identify all nouns and all the verbs and all determiners and all prepositions, adjectives, etc. So this is say collection of all nouns. This is a collection of all verbs, determiners, prepositions, adjectives, etc. Then what is done? Say for example, if we write just Virat, then what is Virat? Virat is a noun. Here we have written this, okay, a proper noun. Virat. Virat is there. It is noun. So it is a noun. And noun is a noun, a part of noun phrase. So when you write simple noun phrase, so it is correct. Now the bat, the second part, here, the second part, the bat. What the is? Here we have already categorized the as your determiner. So determiner is there and bat is noun. So combinedly, jointly, the bat is noun phrase. So that is here Virat is also noun phrase. The bat is also noun phrase. We now add further things. Likes. We add likes now. What is like? We already categorized likes as verb. So likes the bat is verb and noun phrase. So when verb and noun phrase put together, that makes a verb phrase. So Virat is a verb, a noun phrase. Sorry, it is okay. Likes is verb phrase, and that's why likes the bat is verb phrase. Now we join that with Virat. So here likes the bat is verb phrase. Virat is noun phrase. So now it is Virat likes the bat is combination of a noun phrase and a verb phrase, and noun phrase and verb phrase is correct grammatical structure. So Virat likes the bat is correct English statement. So that is the methodology, that is the grammar. So now I want to convert this into rule based system. Now how that is done? So for that, once again, I need to understand the Gujarati structure, the grammar of Gujarati structure. For example, the noun. With noun, number and gender and cases, they are used. What is number? Number is a singular and plural. For example, ladka and ladki, ladke or ladkiyan, like that, right? So in Gujarati, chokro and chokri, that is the thing. But there is no stem word chokro or chokri, ladki or ladka. The stem, the mood roop, we call it mood roop. So they are not mood words, stem words. So stem word is ladak, yeah, in Hindi, and in Gujarati it is choker. And then some suffixes are added. Say if it is masculine, we add o and that becomes chokro. Like ladka, we add a there. In Hindi we add a there behind ladak. So ladak plus a, that becomes ladka, and ladak plus e, that becomes ladki. So when a is added, when it is masculine, then we add a, and when in Hindi, and if it is feminine, then we add e. So that gives you hint of clue of different rules, how these rules are generated. So cases are there. Number, directive, instrumental. So these are various cases. So all these are added at the end of stem word or a mood root. So now the question is, here it is written, look at this, chokra one, that is a word which is equivalent to boys. So here this choker is my stem word. This is my first modifier or suffix. This is my second suffix. This is my third suffix. And put this together, it becomes chokra one. So now challenge is to identify the stem word, and that is called stammer. So for that, first of all, we have generated a corpus. That corpus is having about 29,000 words with some pronouns, prepositions, markers, adverbs, common noun, adjective, words, auxiliaries. So this is how a corpus is created. And now the first one is this particular thing. So Gujarati text is given to my algorithm. The first process that takes place is, tokenizer. Sir, I have 2 hours of time, no? Hello? Okay. So tokenizer is there. What is tokenizer? Tokenizer is, dividing the sentence into separate words, right? So if I write my name is Apurva, so my is one token, name is second token, is third token, and that is how the entire sentence is divided into some words. And now on each of the word, morphology is performed. Now, what is morphology? Morphology is to find out the stem word, right? So stemming is done over here. After that, POS tagging is done. So then, after stemming, what particular word is there that is identified? So that is identified by some rules over here. And then we have used ANN, artificial neural network. So the problem is what? When I give my Gujarati sentence, here the output is whether this sentence is correct or not. That is the output. But here, for that, I have to perform morphology, I have to perform tagging, and then the correctness of the sentence. In fact, this particular work we did for one of my PhD student, Dr. Utkas Kapadia. So I thank him for doing this work. So morphology study is how words are formed by the morphemes. So there are two types of morphemes: inflection or inflected, and derivational. Now, what is inflectional? Here, if a word is added with some suffix, and a new word is created, then that is called inflectional. And sometimes the word completely changes, so that is called derivational. So here chokra one boys will play. Here in Gujarati it is called ramesh. Ramesh means it will be in future, so it is equivalent to will play. So here what is used, what is added, the rum is Gujarati original word or a mood word or a stem word. So here a root is there, and then future tense marker is added. So that becomes ramesh. So I need to understand first what is ram and what are the suffix. Similarly here, choker is my root word, then I is used for gender marker, number marker is also added there, and case marker is also added. So this first one is my gender marker, second one is my number marker, and the third one is my case marker. So ramnar, so here ram is my verb or root and noun marker. So this is how the morphology works. So what we have done, so first we give this complete character word or a token to my engine, and it identifies, it separates the first suffix, and it checks what particular type of suffix is there. So first we check for case marker, whether this ne is there in case marker. Yes, it is there, so it identified it is case marker. So that is removed. So chokra one, so first suffix that is removed. Now the next word, remaining word is given for second check. Then the remaining word chokra, that is given to the third check. So the first check finds the case marker, the second one finds the number marker, and the third one finds the another number marker. Now when this token is scanned, that is scanned from right to left. In our Indian pattern, or even in English also, it is right to left. So we scan that particular token from left to right. We separate out the one by one the last characters, and we check with the corpus whether this particular suffix is belongs to case marker or number marker or gender marker, where it belongs to, and accordingly we can come to a word, a stem word. So look at this. We start with छोकराओं ने, लड़कों ने, लड़कों ने, ऐसे we started, and ultimately we end up with chokar, or in Hindi it is ladak. Now this ladak, that is there in my corpus. So what particular word is, so what is the meaning of that word, that is also there. So that is there. And so look at this here, what is done. Okay, we started with a token and we end up with a stem word, and it is why that is why it is also called a stammer. So now here the problem is what? The problem is, say for example, uh, games. For example, here Ramato is games, equivalent to games. So when I separate this the suffixes, then it becomes Ramat plus O. So it is noun, but what type of noun? It is feminine, and it is plural. So it is noun, a proper noun, and a proper noun, feminine noun, and dot plural. That is how it is. It goes like this. And Ramvu, and so what happens here? There are so many words which are having multiple meaning. If you do not understand with this, understand with this particular example. Second example is it is written Sundar, and I used this particular example earlier also. This Sundar is adjective also, and Sundar is noun also. So the problem is, now the second thing is tagging. So here these are the example of the result of my stammer result is there. So this type of work is undertaken by Triple IT Hyderabad, Triple IT Powai, IIT Bombay, Sheffield University UK, and DDIT Nadia. Then we are also doing the same work. Here, Sheffield University is done some work on Gujarati, but their result is not available. What is the result that is not available? Here, DDIT is also done the work, and they claim 98% of accuracy, whereas here we are claiming 82% accuracy. But the advantage of our algorithm and our work is they consider only 52 paradigms, whereas we consider 120 paradigms. That is one major difference between their work and our work. So our work is more generic work, so less accuracy is also acceptable. So that is stammer is done then. Now after stammer, now we have to tag these words. All these words are required to be tagged. Now what is tagged? So now I am mapping the word with my Gujarati grammar components. So what is noun? What is feminine noun or verb or that type of thing is there. Now when this is done, that creates problem. What type of problem? Okay, many times my words are tagged with multiple tags. Say for example, here NNFVM and NNMVM. So here F and M is changed. So now what is the correct tagging that is now required? Now how this correctness is identified? So that is identified by developing one rule-based system. Now what are the rules used over here? Now possible methods could be rule-based approach, statistical approach, or stochastic approach, where you could have used hidden Markov model or maximum entropy model or conditional random field based approach. This type of things could be used. AI based approach, artificial neural network can also be used. But here for tagger, we used rule based system. Now what is rule based system and what type of rules that we are using? This required clear understanding about Gujarati language. And the second thing is I understand the writing style. From that we derived one rule. If current word, now here my problem is with this Rame and Ramato. So what exactly the rule says? If the current word is either noun or verb, and the next word is auxiliary verb. Here I am talking about this Rame, this particular word. So this is my auxiliary word. So it is this, and it next word is auxiliary word, then the current word shall be main verb. So here this Rame is verb also, it is noun also, but the next word is auxiliary word. This Rame is verb only, and that is how this ambiguity I have removed. All right. Similarly, the second rule we identified, and this rule says if the current word is either noun or verb, and the next word is verb, then the current word shall be noun. So using this second ambiguity is removed. So that is how we created 8 different rules, and artificial intelligence system is developed. Rule based artificial system is developed to remove all these ambiguity. And this is one user interface. And then once it is removed, all ambiguities are removed. Now I can check whether the statement is correct or not. Now for using this correctness of a sentence, uh, we have to use any machine learning classifier which classifies my sentence either into true or false or correct or incorrect. Now the major problem here is if I use any classifier, then it requires inputs. Now what is input here? Okay, I need to provide all tokens of my sentence to my classifier, and then my classifier analyze that structure of my taggers, and from this tagger it identifies, it classifies my sentence into correct or incorrect sentence. But what is the problem? Problem is some sentences, okay, today is Monday, that is one sentence. So here today is Monday, there are only 3 tokens. And yesterday was day before yesterday, it was holiday and it was Saturday. Suppose that is the sentence, that how many tokens are there? Say there are 12, 15 tokens. So every sentence are having different number of tokens. So every sentence are having different number of tokens, how can we fix the size of my input? That is major problem. And if we are considering my artificial neural network, then also I required a total number of neurons in the input layer. So whether I should take 5 input tokens in the input layer, or 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 or 1 or 2, that is problem. For that reason I cannot use artificial neural network. So what we used this particular reference there, and we used shifting window approach. Now what is shifting window approach? The window approach of size 2, for example. So what is size 2? Say today is Monday, for example, today is Monday. So what I am doing, I am using today and is. First of all, I design a network which has got only 2 inputs, right? And then its output is again taken as input. So today is, so I am using today and is as input. I process this today and is, and I check what is the outcome is. Then whether it is correct or not. Then I use is Monday. So first and second, second and third, third and fourth, fourth and fifth, fifth and sixth. This is how I use different words as input. So what I am doing, I am just taking 2 words as input and I check the correctness of it. So in the window size 3, I am taking 3 words, first 3 words, for first, second and third, second, third and fourth, third, fourth and fifth, fourth, fifth, and sixth. That is how I am giving the input. So now there is no restriction on the number of tokens in a word. No matter there are 50 words in one sentence, even then my this network will work. So that is how I use this neural network. And recurrent neural network, Alham's recurrent neural network is used there. And this is some of the technical figures there. And then we check the correctness of this sentence. Now look at this. This is the comparative result of our work. California, San Diego, UCSD, that is, did this type of work on English. Princeton University also did the work on English. Uh, Jalgaon University, Maharashtra is doing good work in Marathi. And Punjabi University, your nearby university, there Professor Lehal is there and his team. They are also doing fabulous work on Punjabi language, and we are doing it in Gujarati language. So we use this reported accuracy. So now our algorithm understands the composition or the correctness of simple Gujarati sentences. So that was the third experiment that we did. Now the next one is, I guess in 15 minutes I will complete this. So next one is spoken Gujarati numbers. The data set generated was in form of wave files, which was sampled at 8,000 hertz. And uh, the feature set which was used is linear predictive coding, and the classifier was KNN. Now here, this is very interesting. When you are identifying, there are two parts. One part is identifying the spoken digit, and second one is generating spoken number. So that is interesting thing. Now in the first wave file, in this wave file number 1, it is 9, and we pronounce it as now, right? So you can see it is a single wave. Here it is a single wave. Here it is 17. So apparently it looks okay, it is a single word. 17, sattar. We in Gujarati we call it sattar, right? 17. But when we analyzed it, actually this sattar is made of two waves, and you can see here this is one wave, and then very small pause is there, and then the other wave is generated. This is wave of sattar. The third wave is 31, wave of 31, and we call it in Gujarati, we call it ekatris. And when it is ekatris, so it is made of three waves. So the first challenge is to identify to separate these waves, and then to identify the correct or the correct spoken number. So for that, this wave signal is given as input, and then, as I told you, it is found how many waves are there. So for that, frame blocking is done, windowing is done. This windowing is here it is only one window. In the second wave file there are two windows. In third wave file there are three windows. So these windows are picked. After these windows, we perform some autocorrelation. Then LPCA is used, linear predictive code analysis. And then parameter feature set is generated. This feature set is provided to machine learning algorithm, and this machine learning algorithm is used as KNN. I have already mentioned it over here. We have made use of KNN here. So KNN is used there, and this is my feature set here. For this example also, I got a 98% of accuracy. This particular work we did for PhD thesis of Dr. Bharat Patel. So likewise, we have performed many such algorithms. These are some references and references of this presentation and some of the other research papers of our Gujarati or the machine learning work has been published. So all these things are there. Now let us go back to very interesting part. So what is the latest trend in natural language processing and machine learning in specific? uh, that is chat gpt. I'm sure that so many things are going on all around the world about chat gpt. In fact, you can integrate this chat gpt along with your excel also, your word also. So what type of wonders can be created? Many of you must be aware, but as it is one of the latest thing, I thought we should include this in this lecture. Say, write a story on modern India in Mark Twain style. If Mark Twain writes a story about modern India, how he would have written this story about modern India? So look at this; it writes a story on it, right? So this particular model, whatever I've read, this is a deep learning model, artificial intelligence based on artificial intelligence. It is deep learning, and it is trained with so much of data. And look at this, how Mark Twain would have written a story on modern India. So it is written. The second thing that also you must be knowing, and I wish that you do not use this. So this is how it use engine use its machine, I mean natural language processing intelligence to write a story. Second is, write a program, write a Python UI program to add to numbers. So it will write a program. Not only it writes, but it explain also. The You can see it uses TK Enter. TK Enter is one of the toolkit for GUI. Uh, so it writes a program, complete program, and you can use this program. The third thing is very interesting. The third is very interesting. Write a poetry. Write a poetry on ancient or on India, modern India, in Hindi script. Look at this. It even writes in Hindi also. Uh, if you integrate this with your word, and so many times we and I'm sure students do not write applications in proper form. Look at this here. Write an application, leave application, a leave application, a leave application in this script. Look at this. It writes. So this is latest trend in natural language processing and machine learning in general. You can copy this copy this from here to your Word document, and you just put your signature there and give it to your head of the department. Uh, so uh, look at this, how strong these machine learning techniques are. So that is all about my talk. Now only 10 minutes is left. So if you have any questions, you can, you know, ask your question, and I will try to answer your questions. No, I do not, listen to you. Your voice is not coming through. Yeah. Transformer model and deep learning. Deep learning model, see, if, what exactly you are meaning by transformer model, that I don't understand. But what is deep learning? I hope you understand what is deep learning. In fact, in the first example, that example is also categorized as a deep learning model. When there are multiple hidden layers, many hidden layers are there, then it becomes a deep learning model. Here, I have used 50 model, 50 hidden layers. So that is deep learning model. But what is transformer? If you can elaborate it, I can answer your question. Transformer model. Are you referring to BERT and all those things? Your voice is not through. I cannot listen to you. Your noise is not coming through. No, deep learning and the transformer, as long as as much as I know, this transformer model is very different from deep learning model. Transformer model, if you go through Google BERT. Have you heard about Google BERT? BERT. So there it is. There all these transformers and everything is discussed. So to my knowledge, both are very much different. Deep learning model and transformer model, they both are very much different. Yes, in fact, I will, send a list of books to Professor Sood. I have collection of books on machine learning and statistics and machine learning, mathematical models and machine learning. I will, send a list of books to Professor Sood for sure. Right. That is why, say for example, what Google Translator does. In fact, of late they have corrected this to some extent. Say for example, CD. CD is a town, right? So if you write, it is not it is not happening now. But if you write, I am going to CD, or in Gujarati, if I am writing, or in Hindi, मैं CD जा रहा हूँ, and if you ask your translator, it translates it into I am going to sugarcane. Now, what is the problem here? The problem is that translator doesn't understand what particular word is. We talked about that tagger. So, what exactly the tag is? For that, it need to understand the meaning also. So here, when I talk about CD, this CD is not sugarcane. The proper is CD is sugarcane, but here CD is not sugarcane. CD is name of a town or a name of a city. So here, that CD should be treated as noun and not elsewhere otherwise. So if it treats that CD is noun, translate it into I am going to CD. But as it does not, understand it is noun at this point of time, it translated into sugarcane. So the problem is in this translation, the problem is the understanding of tagger problem. So tagger is possible only if proper stammer is done. So this stammer and stagger is not matured in most of the translators for now, and that's why this problem is created. So if we make this stammer and stagger proper, then translation is more accurate. So this is the start point of any natural language processing. So start point is this only: understand the language, understand the stammer, understand the tagging. So if you make stammer and tagger proper, then translation is much more easier and accurate. Good evening. No, this is not one project. The thing that I have presented today, some of work is of my own. That is done in my major research project, and a couple of work is done for my couple of PhD students for their PhD degree. All these works are work of last 10 to 12 years, and still we are working in this direction. So it is not work of one single project, or uh, likewise it is work of 3 4 different projects. And still we have not done even 25 percentage of Gujarati NLP. We have not completed 25 percentage of Gujarati NLP problem. So in fact, it is a huge problem. So if as a student of data science and artificial intelligence, I would invite you to join natural language processing. It is a huge problem. Very little work has been done in Indic languages. I mentioned 3 4 languages. Punjabi University is doing very good work in Punjabi on Punjabi language. ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta, they are doing good work on Bengali language. Triple IT Hyderabad is doing in on languages. So these are some random spots where natural language processing work is going on. IIT Mumbai, of course, they are doing work on Gujarati. Language processing. So I invite you all to join as a student of data science and artificial intelligence. You should join this Gujarati language. Language processing. Yeah. Very interesting question. In fact, it is called dialects. Our dialects are different, very different dialects. Here in South Gujarat region, we speak different type of Gujarati. In North Gujarat, a different type of Gujarati is spoken and used. And Saurashtra, different type of language is used. And the first problem is to deal with the basic language, and then you can mature that model further on. So you cannot, jump on this particular problem. Once the Gujarati model, when Gujarati model will be matured, then it will come. See, what is the, limit, what is major limitation of this Alexa devices, that, say for example, our, English pronunciation are very different than pronunciation of UK and US, and that is why so many times our commands are not taken properly by Alexa, so from that point of view, even English model is not matured enough. So now people are, working on it. What is one of the solution? One of the solution is you train your model for all these different types of dialects. So probably tomorrow, if Alexa people, they train their tool or their algorithm for Indian dialects, then probably our English, Alexa will understand our English better. Say if I create this Gujarati, platform, and then I train it for South Gujarat dialects, I train it for North Gujarat dialects. So training is required. Training for different dialects is required. But the first challenge is to make one model for standard language. So when this training will take place, it will happen. Thank you. Good evening. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Data set किसका किसका? Okay. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Like grammar means you want to classify script or grammar. हाँ तो वो तो स्क्रिप्ट क्लासिफिकेशन हो गया ना. वो तो स्क्रिप्ट क्लासिफिकेशन हो गया. अगर स्क्रिप्ट क्लासिफिकेशन करना है, सपोज एक सिंपल में एक रूल दिखाऊं आपको गुजराती और हिंदी में. ये सपोज आपने एक सेंटेंस लिखा है गुजराती में, एक सेंटेंस लिखा है हिंदी में, और आपको करना है कि डिफरेंशिएशन करवाना है, क्लासिफाई करवाना है एक एल्गोरिदम से. तो आपको ये लर्न करना पड़ेगा कि भाई गुजराती कैसे हिंदी से अलग है. और फॉर दैट आई जस्ट गिव यू वन हिंट कि मैंने वो मेंशन किया कि गुजराती में वी डू नॉट यूज सिरोलेखा, whereas in Hindi we write Sirolekha, we put that Sirolekha, right? So that is one indication of differentiation between these two scripts. So that is how you have to identify the characteristics of Gujarati language, characteristic of Hindi language, or any other language that you want to identify. So you need to identify, and that is called feature set. So how Gujarati is written, how Hindi is written, how English is written, that you have to identify. Those are called feature set. Those feature set are provided to your machine learning algorithm or any such type of classifier, and then classifier will identify the language. Here, to identify in what language something is written, you do not need to understand its grammar. You need to understand how that, what is the composition or what is the script of that particular language. For that, you do not need to understand grammar. Good evening. In fact, that is very difficult. And if you use Chat GPT, that is also a difficult thing. Now, for that, one of the answer could be you analyze the style of writing. You analyze style of writing. What that is called semantic analysis. So if you perform semantic analysis, then this type of thing is done. So yeah. You are correct. You are correct. You are very much correct. Say from easier from the spoken sentences. So when you speak them, then your the tone and everything becomes a little different. So that is a big challenge, really a big challenge. And that falls in that the second example, okay, one meaning having a different array, one sentence is having different meaning. I talk about that particular challenge. So now I must, stop here because you have some next session. So Professor Sood is, uh, asked me to stop here. So thank you very much. It was really wonderful and uh, good to interact with you. Professor Sood, once again, thank you very much for inviting me and giving me opportunity to talk to wonderful, students of Himachal Pradesh University. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Anything for our friends, sir. Thank you. May I leave now, sir?